Commission by appreciating member states' foresight, commitment, and tenacity to position our region on newer frontiers in building the future Asia and the Pacific we want. We must together lead on sustainability to ensure Commission by appreciating member states' foresight, commitment, and tenacity to position in
bonne position par rapport aux nouvelles frontières.
可持续发展目标的实现。
Ваше превосходительство, уважаемые делегаты.
Foresight, commitment, and tenacity to position in
bonne position par rapport aux nouvelles frontières.
and to ensure that the Commission is empowered to seize the opportunities of the next phase of global and regional development, we have been working in
Bonne position par rapport aux nouvelles frontières.
Sustainable development and science and technology. It has also seen the establishment of new Research and Publications Committee to align and strengthen our research and analytical work to feed the intergovernmental processes. We have also improved our strategic coordination and partnership systems and will create a new coordination mechanism for capacity building, strategy, and implementation, which I will address in more detail during my policy statement on Thursday. When I was appointed as Executive Secretary, I instituted a series of consultations with senior managers and with member states to set the strategic direction for this Secretariat. The Strategy Note 2015 to 2020 defines 4 impact level development results. 1, helping member states formulate and implement effective policies and strategies for integrating the 3 dimensions of sustainable development. 2, assisting them in making measurable progress in achieving the Sustainable Development Goals. 3, helping them articulate a stronger regional voice to influence global decision-making. And 4, helping to strengthen capacities for regional and economic integration. To ensure that these development results are reflected in our strategic framework and work program, I created a task force which has developed an ESCAP-wide measurable institutional results framework with 5 outcomes and 18 institution-wide performance indicators. We will be discussing and refining the work of the task force in the coming days and hope to roll out the new framework before the end of the year to ensure that our work is more results-based and that progress, performance, and impacts will be fully measured. As you may be aware, over the last year, we've also undertaken consultations on the restructuring of Commission conference structure. I will be speaking more on this later today under the agenda item 5, but for now, I want to emphasize that the proposals are meant to strengthen and reinforce the Commission's mandate, the work to address the priorities that you, our member states, have identified as needing greater attention in the post-2015 world. All of these much warranted improvements and changes have been reflected in the proposed program of work for the biennium 2016 to 2017, which I urge the Commission to endorse later today and which will be taken up in New York later this year. Excellencies and distinguished delegates, revitalizing ESCAP's development partnership has also been our priority. The Asia-Pacific Regional Coordination Mechanism has been leveraged to draw together the regional UN system to provide inputs to the global sustainable development deliberations, as well as on the comprehensive partnership between ASEAN and the United Nations. The UN system is now jointly implementing the tangible components of economic and socio-cultural pillars of the ASEAN UN Work Plan for 2015, which was adopted at the ASEAN UN Summit in November 2014 in Myanmar. ESCAP and ADB's partnership has focused on our MDG reviews, transport connectivity, trade facilitation, statistics, and environment. The ADB president and I signed a new memorandum of understanding focused on collaboration on the post-2015 development agenda and sustainable development goals. Just last week, we strengthened our long-standing relationship with the United Nations Environment Programme by signing a new memorandum of understanding with them. The key areas of our cooperation will be an institutional framework for sustainable development, a 10-year framework of program on sustainable consumption and green economy in the context of sustainable development and poverty eradication. Strategic partnerships has also been developed with bilateral organizations. For instance, a new MOU has been signed with the Korea Transport Institute to promote sustainable transport systems across the Asia-Pacific region. Excellencies, distinguished delegates, each year the Commission has before it a heavy slate of resolutions which require consideration and concurrence. This year is no exception. From the draft resolution on the conference structure review to another on financing for development, the Commission has before it 14 proposals in all, dealing with key facets of the post-2015 development agenda. The resolutions cover a spectrum of issues, from maritime, rail, ICT connectivity, to ensuring continued progress on the commitments of the Beijing conference, to greater support for our countries with special needs and global processes defined in Istanbul and Samoa. We also have drafts that take forward the outcomes of the Sendai Conference on disaster risk, as well as the sixth regional institution to support information management and sharing about disasters. The diversity and importance of these issues is a indication that countries are again turning to the ESCAP intergovernmental platform to address the most pressing shared challenges and to seize the shared opportunities of our region. Excellencies, distinguished delegates, I began this morning by recalling the exceptional progress member states have made in setting our region on the path to inclusivity, resilience, and sustainable prosperity. I would like to conclude by assuring you that the Secretariat stands to help the people of Asia and the Pacific by unlocking the barriers and impediments to a more sustainable future of shared prosperity. To do so, we need your continued guidance, commitment, and active support. I wish you all very fruitful deliberations in the week ahead, and I would like to thank you all for being here.
Thank you, Madam Executive Secretary, for your statement. So at this time, I will now turn over the proceedings to the Executive Secretary, who will now conduct the remainder of this meeting.
Distinguished representatives, ladies and gentlemen, with your permission, we will now consider agenda item 1B, the election of the bureaus of the senior official segment. The bureaus consist of the chairs and vice chairs of the committees of Whole 1 and Whole 2, as well as the working group on draft resolution. May I request distinguished delegates to make their nominations? I understand Japan will and Afghanistan will second the nominations. Over to Japan, delegate.
Thank you very much, Madam Executive Secretary. First of all, I would like to congratulate 71st session of ESCAP Commission session under your distinguished leadership. Taking into account the importance of the two committees of the Fall and the Working Group on Draft Resolutions, and also considering the experience and I have the honor to propose the election of the following distinguished representatives for the bureaus of the senior official segment. For the Committee of the Fall 1, Chairman, Honorable Rosemary G. Edilion, Assistant Director General, National Economic and Development Authority, Philippines. As Vice Chairs, Mr. Fikrat Pasiayev, Principal Advisor, Trans-Eurasian Information Superhighway Project Secretariat, Azerbaijan. Also, Ms. Susan Sulu-Dari, Director, Aid Coordination Division, Ministry of Development, Planning and Aid Coordination, Solomon Islands. As for the Committee of the Fall 2, for the chairman, for chairperson, Ms. Nomea Simi, Assistant Chief Executive Officer, Ministry of Finance, Samoa. As vice chairs, His Excellency Mr. Kirill Balsky, Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary and Permanent Representative of the Russian Federation to ESCAP, and also Mr. Lal Sankar Gimire, Joint Secretary, National Planning Commission, Nepal. As for Working Group on Draft Resolutions, as a chairperson, His Excellency Mr. Kesan Wandi, Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary and Permanent Representative of Bhutan to ESCAP. As Vice Chair, Mr. Ataul Munim Sahid, Deputy Head of Mission and Deputy Permanent Representative of Pakistan to ESCAP. I am sure that the distinguished delegates which I have proposed will discharge their duties efficiently for the successful deliberations of the respective committees and working group. Thank you very much, Madam Executive Secretary.
Thank you so much to the Japanese delegation. Does any delegation wish to second the nomination? Afghanistan, as I said, I give the floor to the distinguished delegate of Afghanistan.
Thank you very much, Madam Executive Secretary. I have great pleasure in seconding the nomination, which have just been proposed by the distinguished delegate of Japan for the various positions of the bureaus. Thank you very much, Madam Executive Secretary.
Thank you. Are there any further nominations? It is my great pleasure to declare that for Committee of the Whole 1, Chair will be Honorable Rosemary Edelin, Assistant Director General, National Economic and Development Authority, Philippines. Vice Chair, Mr. Fikrat Bashawiev, Principal Advisor, Trans-Euro-Asian Information Superhighway, Project Secretariat, Azerbaijan. Number 2, Ms. Suzanne Salou Dhari, Director, Aid Coordination Division, Ministry of Development Planning and Aid Coordination from Solomon Islands. For Committee of the Whole 2, Chair, Ms. Nomie Semi, Assistant Chief Executive Officer, Ministry of Finance of Samoa. For Vice Chairs, first, His Excellency Mr. Kirill Barsky, Ambassador Extraordinary and Permanent Representative of the Russian Federation to ESCAP. 2, Mr. Lal Shankar Ghimari, Joint Secretary, National Planning Commission, Nepal. Working Group on Draft Resolution will be chaired by His Excellency Mr. Kisang Wangdi, Ambassador Extraordinary and Permanent Representative of Bhutan to ESCAP. Vice Chair, Mr. Ataullah Monim Shahid, Deputy Head of Mission and Deputy Permanent Representative of Pakistan to ESCAP. Let us now congratulate all members of the bureaus by acclamation. With your permission, distinguished representatives, I will retain the chair for the next item, adoption of the agenda. The provisional agenda is contained in document E//71/L.1/Rev.1. Are there any comments on the agenda? If none, I announce that the agenda is so adopted. I now request the Secretary of the Commission to make some announcements. Over to you, Mitch.
Thank you, Madam Executive Secretary, and a good morning to all the distinguished delegates, and a very warm welcome to the 71st session of the Commission. I am pleased to announce that at this year's session, a few additional side events are being held at the initiative of member states. These include a side event on Thursday on the blue economy, hosted by the government of Bangladesh, a luncheon event on Friday on energy, hosted by the government of the Russian Federation, and an event on sharing experiences on sustainable development, hosted by the government of Thailand. That's also on Friday. We also have an exhibition on sustainable development, which highlights the efforts of member states, ESCAP, and other UN organizations. We will have the formal opening of this exhibition on Thursday morning, but I do encourage you to please visit the booths when you have a free moment. Lastly, I am also pleased to remind all participants of the reception hosted by the Executive Secretary this evening starting at 5:30 in the dining room on the first floor of this conference center. You can always find more information on these and other events on the Commission website and the touch screens you'll find scattered throughout this conference center. Furthermore, since we are living in the age of the social media, I would encourage you to also follow us on Twitter for all of the latest documents and announcements regarding the Commission. Our Twitter handle is @UNSCAP, and the hashtag is #CS71. And as you heard prior to the start of our meeting, we do continue to move forward on our efforts toward a paper-smart model of holding our sessions. I am pleased to announce that, with your support, the Secretariat has achieved significant decrease in the number of papers that we print out. Compared to the 68th session, there has been a decrease of almost 75% until now. But being paper smart does not mean doing away with paper completely, but rather identifying areas where we can reduce the use of paper and provide the same information through alternate means. So in this vein, because we no longer issue the order of the day in paper, which provides the daily detailed program, instead you can find it in its electronic form on the touch screens that I mentioned just previously. Likewise, the conference bulletins, which have announcements, for instance this year, regarding the election of the regional institutions, also will no longer be available in hard copy and can be found on the touch screens as well, and the Commission website. Another feature of our Paper Smart session is the fact that you should all have received a USB flash drive when you picked up your badges or at registration. This flash drive does contain all of the session's documentation, so we hope that you'll make good use of that. Delegates are also encouraged to download the documents that are available on the Commission website. We do have a delegates working area in meeting room A, which does have a printer and some computers set up for your convenience. And lastly, we are also pleased to inform everybody that all meeting rooms and public areas in this conference center are fully equipped with wireless connections and power sources. And additionally, a limited number of laptops and tablets are available for loan to the member delegations. Interested delegations can find the loan desk for these equipment next to the Documents Distribution Center next to Conference Room 1. Thank you all for your attention.
Before I adjourn this session, I would like to inform all delegates that the two committees of the whole will convene under their respective chairs in Conference Room 1 and 2 for consideration of Agenda Item 3. I now declare the meeting adjourned. Hope I don't have to press this again. I hope it is efficient. Yeah.